What's your worst birthday memory? I had just turned 11 and had friends over for my birthday party. I brought people upstairs to show them my hamster. I get to her cage. Look inside. And she's dead. Devastating for little me. Awkward for all my friends. I had recently moved as a child and had a really rough time of getting friends. On my first birthday party there, I had 3 sort of friends come over to our house. It was the first time I ever had my own friends over. During the happy birthday song, my oldest sister came downstairs, shoved her hand into the middle of the cake my mom made, then left. I don't remember the consequences or if she even got any. But I remember that sinking feeling of embarrassment and hopelessness. In the years to come, those friends did in fact become my best friends for a while. My dad was upset that my mom was throwing me a birthday party when I turned 8. So he called me and pretty much made me stay on the phone with him for hours, so I missed the whole thing. For my 11th birthday, I got my first camera. My dad took me to Argos to pick one out. He said the limit was £70. But the camera little me wanted was £85. It was this little Canon digital thing. He bought it then just came out with Happy Birthday Jay. Because that camera was £85. You owe me £15. He said this in front of all of the staff. And continued to pester me for the money for another month before my mum found out what was going on and told him to stop. For my 16th birthday my mom gave me a brochure about wall climbing. Not a wall climbing gift card or the plans to go wall climbing. Just a brochure. I don't even like wall climbing. The one where my wife said, "I don't want anything for my birthday," and I believed her. You did get her something, a lesson on how to communicate with others. My birthday last month. I was pretty depressed. Everyone forgot my birthday. I got my period without any pads available. I forgot my lunch at home. And when I texted my friends asking if they still wanted to hang out after I had made some plans with them, it turns out they weren't able to show up anymore. So I took a bath, which broke the ducking faucet somehow, and then went to eat some of my birthday cake, made the day prior, and of which I had had only one slice, and discovered my brother had eaten it all. I know it's not super deep or anything, but that was a shitty day lol. I was 15. I was supposed to hang out with my 2 best friends and go to the movies. My dad, who has never been in my life, showed up and guilt tripped me into coming with him so he could do something with me for my birthday. He promised a dinner and to bring me back so I could hang with my friends. We ended up going to some dude's house he loved at, where my dad proceeded to smoke crack and fall asleep. So I spent my birthday sad, hungry, and basically babysitting my 39-year-old dad. Duck that guy. My mom laughing as I opened up all clothes from Walmart when I specifically told her to please not shop there for me. I wanted one outfit from Abercrombie, this was the 90s fire. She laughed as I cried. Then 3 months later my sister got all clothes from Abercrombie for her birthday. So I had this friend over at my house and it was going to be my 13th birthday. Well, my brother, who was 17 at the time, asked me to make him a shake. And I thought it would be funny to mix in all the worst things I could find. It had ketchup, mustard, soy sauce, Hershey's chocolate syrup, and plenty more. By the end, it was a brown that visually passed for a chocolate shake. Well, I gave it to him. He takes a sip and is gagging. My friend think it's hilarious. Until he decides he is gonna beat my ass. Me and my friend take off running into the kitchen where we are all running left and right around an island. My family keeps a centerpiece of apples or oranges or whatever we feel like putting in a fairly large bowl in the center of the island. To which my brother decides he is tired of chasing us and just grabs an orange. I don't notice this yet and he launches one at my head, smacking me perfectly in the temple. Orange busts on impact and I got knocked out. On the spot. My friend is scared for his life and at this point I've unconsciously pissed myself. I come to and my mom is losing her shit at my brother, who feels pretty bad now for knocking me out. Then embarrassing me in front of a friend on my birthday. Needless to say, I had a headache that just wouldn't go away for what felt like forever. We all look back on it now and think it's pretty funny, but my mom still wants to beat my brother's ass for it. TLDR, I pranked my brother and he knocked me out for it. On my 10th birthday, I broke my arm in PE. From supermaning into the cinder block wall. I might have had a concussion. But when I went down to the nurse, she sent me back to PE with an ice pack. Luckily, since it was my birthday, my mom was at the school to eat lunch with me and diagnosed it in 2 seconds from asking me to hold her car keys and me not being able to. I had gone into shock and was pale as a ghost at this time. Every year on my birthday, my mom gets a Facebook memory of a picture of me and the nurse at the hospital with my arm in a soft cast. Other than breaking my arm, my birthday was pretty great since I got the presents I wanted. Went to a friend's party on my birthday. My parents wouldn't let me have one. Lots of people gate crashed, including a few rough lads who were smoking weed in the person's house. The person's dad, who presumably owned the house, came downstairs and politely asked them to leave. They told him to duck off and stabbed him. Edit. Thanks for 1k. Literally made a Reddit account just to post this, haha. I had to go to my grandfather's funeral. I was 10 and I had lost my other grandfather and my uncle in the 4 months prior. When I planned to go see a band abroad but ended up getting spine surgery instead. Worst birthday ever. I came home from school when I was like 17 to a birthday cake and balloons. Courtesy of my mom. It was just us two. New stepdad. And new stepsister. My stepsister was silent the whole time, probably because the attention wasn't on her. She could be very self-absorbed, and my stepdad seemed to mimic her demeanor because in his eyes she can do no wrong. My mom was as usual super enthusiastic and great. But my stepsister ruined that moment for me with her joy-sucking attitude, and it foreshadowed some of the years to come. 2 years ago, my partner had a bad car crash when she was rushing home after collecting my birthday cake. I knew she was planning a surprise party, so was all excited. Will never forget that moment when I received a phone call from the family liaison officers and then rushing to the hospital, feeling all numb. When I was little, one of my friends literally threw a screaming fit and clung on for dear life when her parents tried to get her out of the car to attend my party. When I was 18, my mum forgot because it was also Easter. Then I got stood up by the friends who were supposed to be meeting me at a bar. There was also one year I'd just moved to a new city. Knew nobody. So I took myself to the cinema for a Keanu Reeves film. The projector broke about 10 minutes in. Most of my birthdays have ended up being just fortuitably mediocre. My parents argued literally all day on my birthday last year. Like they couldn't take just one day to not be pissed at each other. Then, my mom took to Facebook to see if anyone would throw her a pity party. And everyone gave it to her. It started not feeling like my birthday before it even really started. When I was 8, my godmother bought me a bike, a girl's bike, for my birthday. It was pink and had streamers. She meant well. My parents explained that she chose it because it was the bike she always wanted when she was a little girl. But never got. Still, it was hard as an 8-year-old boy to pretend I was happy with it, knowing friends would tease me about it. The 27th of April. There was a series of tornadoes that came through the area and killed some people. It took the cake too. It was probably my first party with friends. I'd like to say I was probably 7. And I was addicted to Legos. I had Ninjago sets that I liked a lot, and at the party I let people in my room, and I don't think that I'll ever forget how devastated I was when I found out they'd destroyed all the sets and built other things with them. That was the last time I let friends over for my birthday for a while. I was 16. Asked my girlfriend when was she going to come to my birthday party. She replied, no sorry. I want to break up. Nice. Every birthday I've had has been shared with my 4 siblings. So it's never really been about me. All of my friends used to talk about how their birthdays were a special day for them, but I never got to celebrate on my birthday. We all waited till summer to have a big party. I shouldn't complain. Having a birthday party for 5 kids at once is cost effective and easier since we didn't have a ton of money. Oh well. I went paintballing for my birthday party last year and got shot in the crotch by my dad, who was on the same team. Having a party the night before to be like YAY happy birthday at midnight and having my wallet stolen. I spent the entire next day, my birthday, cancelling my cards and calling my friends to make sure no one had seen it anywhere or has it or know who might have it. As a bonus, my birthday is the 11th of September. So you can imagine how everyone likes to point that out like I had no idea it's 9/11. Hey, your birthday is on 9/11. Oh, that's right. I forgot. No one wished me happy birthday and it did so when one friend did it. I got into the mood and started to cheer up way past midnight, singing It's Ma Day, and got responded with your B-Day was yesterday. Another friend, whose birthday was 3 days after mine, got her day celebrated throughout the week. The friend that shushed me even gave her a nice present while I was hanging out with them. Just the 3 of us. And acknowledged the awkwardness of me being there to witness it. I've never been close to people before at that point, so I was used to no one wishing my birthday. The present thing was like salt to the wound tbh. 16th birthday. Nobody that I invited showed up. I had to contain the tears while explaining my mother that I didn't lie to her because she believed I genuinely had no friends. Edit. I've never expected this many upvotes. Thank you all for your support. I have 2. I found out my girlfriend of 2.5 years had been cheating on me for 7 months with my best friend. She was sitting next to me on her phone when a notification from him came up, which she quickly swiped away. Later she left her phone at my house, and after just taking a glance, I knew what had happened. I had plans to go with my dad to see Megadeth live in concert. This was supposed to be a surprise, but my dad kinda ruined it when he blatantly asked, would you prefer floor or balcony seats? I just found out 3 days ago, though, that Dave Mustaine, Megadeth's lead singer, had been diagnosed with throat cancer and that nearly all of their upcoming shows were cancelled. TLDR, found out longtime GF was cheating and found out Dave Mustaine had throat cancer and the show was cancelled. Edit. I should mention that these were on my 17th and 18th birthdays respectively. My older cousin's birthday is 3 days after mine, so my family tends to just skip mine and focus on his. I decided one year to throw a party for my birthday at my house. I paid for all the food and drinks and decorations. Had my mom help me set everything up. Had a bar set up with drinks. Had a buddy of mine DJ. Everyone shows up, most of which ignored even saying happy birthday to me. And my aunt, not my cousin's mom, who didn't even say anything to me upon arriving, gifted my cousin a 2-week trip to Europe fully paid for and then made my entire party sing happy birthday to him and not even acknowledge me. And mind you, I threw this party for me because I have always been the outcast of my family, and though hey, if I throw it for myself maybe they will actually be nice to me. And not in a material way. I just wanted some attention from my family who has always shut me out from everything. Needless to say, I don't talk to any of them besides maybe once during the holidays, and it's always the obligated hey how you been? Sometimes life is better when you're completely alone and accept it. When I was 7, my mother hired a pony and a cart to come to my house for all the kids. And I got a really bad rash from the pony. And all the kids got to ride the pony and I had to go inside. And my mother was rubbing cream on me for probably 3 hours. And I never came outside. And by the time I got out, the pony was already in the truck and around the corner. So that was my worst birthday. When I turned 8, I stepped on an upright toothpick sticking out of the carpet. I had my birthday party at a roller skating rink in 1st grade. I invited everyone from my class and some family members as well. No one showed up except for my immediate family. I was so disappointed. When you grow up poor, you kinda have low expectations for your birthday even at a young age. Having grown up like that, it is always a little weird when I meet people in their mid or late 20s who get excited for their birthday. Like even having countdowns and whatnot. Perfectly normal but still amusing to me. Same. I grew up poor too and we didn't really celebrate birthdays. We still don't. I don't even really tell people when my birthday is because it was never a let's have a party and eat cake and go out thing. It was just a happy birthday kid thing, if you know what I mean. I find it a little weird when my friends say they have an amazing trip planned or are going bar hopping all night, because my birthdays were always like stay at home, maybe a cake and just stay in all day. Or sometimes for me, I worked on my birthday because I needed the money and couldn't afford to miss a day. Apart from my 20th birthday where I went out with 2 friends, I always had exams on my birthday in high school and was never allowed to go out for even an hour or so, even if it was the weekend. My worst birthday was probably my 21st. It should have been a big one, but I had my first appointment in the eating disorder ward in hospital and spent the rest of the day on my own, knowing that it wouldn't be a good year. I do realize it could be way worse. My family wanted to go fishing. I hated fishing. They could have at least gone to the local river which has clear water. But they opted for a culvert over a muddy ditch next to a bunch of bean fields. Happy 14th to me. My 17th birthday. I was super depressed at that point in my life. My mom had her drunk, abusive, always fighting, now ex-boyfriend over. All I wanted was just one day without him around. Instead, I locked myself in my room for the entire day so as to avoid them and planned my suicide. Kinda ruined birthdays for me forever. They're so bittersweet. I used to love them, but now I always remember back to that day. No birthday has ever been that bad since, but they are not super fun anymore. My 23rd birthday was a few weeks ago, and when we were eating my cake, my mom made a scene about how nobody ever does anything for her, which is false. It made me really reflect on how my birthday never really got to be about me. On a brighter note, I worked in a 4th grade classroom this year, and my partner teacher threw me a cupcake dance party for my birthday. The kids went crazy. They loved it so much. And I tried to play it cool. But wow. It felt really amazing to be celebrated like that.